Hi, David here from Absolute Music again. Just here with a video today on an Ed Sheeran song. As he's absolutely obliterated the charts at the moment, we thought we'd give you some acoustic play-along stuff that's great for the summer, so when those barbecues roll around, you've got some tunes to entertain all your mates. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through Shape of You, and it's got a couple of chords in it. So what we're going to do, we're going to give you a link below you can click on, and that'll take you to Absolute's website, where you can grab a copy of these chords you can print off or just keep them on your computer screen and have a little look at those. So I'm going to show you these chords. So in this song, there's a couple of different ways he plays it. So on the original version, on the record, he plays it with a capo up here. And if you need a capo, you can find them again on Absolute's website, about under a tenner. So he plays it up here at the 4th fret. When he plays it live, he plays it with open strings down here, so you're just playing it without a capo. So depending on which version you want to play along with, you can stick a capo on if you want a higher vocal, or leave it open for a lower one. So we'll show you these chords down here. So we're going to use an A minor to start with. As I say, you can get these off of the sheet you can get hold of on the website. So we've got 3 fingers in this chord. So you may already know this chord, so I'm going to just take you through it again. So we're going to use the first finger, and we're going to number the strings 1 to 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. That's the E, the B, working back that way. So we're on the B string here, 2nd string. First finger on that one, and then we're going to take our middle finger here, so we're on to the next finger, so that's the 2nd finger. This is on the 4th string up, that's the D string, and it's in the 2nd fret. So again, 4th string up, the D string, 2nd fret. So we've got these 2 fingers on here. And then this 3rd finger here, that's going to sit between the 2 on the 3rd string up, and this is the G string. So it's underneath in the 2nd fret there, so it's tucked under that middle finger there. So those 3 fingers on there gives us the A minor chord. So we're going to squeeze that one down here. So I'm going to use my thumb here, just as a little tip, over the top here on that low E string, and that's just going to mute that string for me, just in case I happen to hit that. I've then got it covered, so it doesn't matter if I absolutely wallop it. So as the song gets sort of more exciting and you move on, you're strumming, that's just going to stop that horrible ringing E string. So little tip there. So we've got our 3 fingers there. We're going to play 5 strings with this, so just strumming through it. So if you get one of those dull notes, don't forget to squeeze down a little harder. So that gives you that one. Now what Ed Sheeran does here, he moves his guitar moves to a standard D minor chord. So if you know a D minor, you can play that one. I'm going to give you a little kind of different version of a D minor chord. I'm going to show you a D minor 7, which works really well with what the keyboard plays on this. So we're going to basically take these 2 fingers off. So we're leaving our 1st finger there. We're going to take the middle finger and the 3rd finger off, and we're going to drop that here so that your middle finger takes over on that 3rd string up, same fret, so that G string 2nd fret there. And then we've got this D minor chord here, and it's D minor 7 with this finger here. So this finger has to flatten to play this 1st string here. Now this is quite tricky for those of you just sort of starting out. Flattening a finger over 2 strings does require building up the callus there. So don't worry if that's a little tricky. You can get away with leaving that finger up in the air like this and playing the open string underneath. And it gives you a slight variant on that chord. Still works with the song. Alternatively, you may find you just get that string muted. Again, don't worry about it. It's a bonus if you can get it, but if not, no worries. So that still sounds cool. So that's our D minor 7 chord. We're going to go for an easier F here. Again, if you know a more complicated F chord, feel free to put that in. So we're just going to take the 3rd finger now that's floating around, that's completely free here, and we're going to place it on that 4th string up, that's the D string, and now this is in the 3rd fret over. So we've got 3 fingers basically in a line here. So that gives us that chord. and we're just going to play 4 strings like the D chord. So now if you can get that first finger laying flat, again, cool. If not, don't worry, you can either mute it or you can play with the open string, which will give you an F major 7, which, let's face it, sounds more complicated than just playing a normal F. So if you want to put that in, you're more than welcome to. So that's our first 3 chords. Our final chord here, and literally the last chord in the song, is a G chord. Again, lots of different ways of playing that, so I'm going to show you a really easy way. We're just going to take our 3rd finger, it's going to go on the 3rd fret, just on the 1st string. That's the first string you come to here. That's the high E string. So 3rd fret along, and we're going to play 4 strings again. So that's just that one string. You may have seen G played this way, or this way. Both are still valid. I'm just going with an easy one here, just for those of you who are starting out and make life a little easy. So just that one there. So recapping those, A minor, 3 fingers here. So 1st finger, 2nd string up, that's the B string, 1st fret. Middle finger goes on the 4th string up, and that's the D string here in the 2nd fret. And then this 3rd finger is going on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, so it tucks underneath this middle finger here. Squeezing down, playing 5 strings. Taking this 3rd finger out, move the middle finger physically down, so up in terms of pitch, down in terms of direction you're moving. That gives you the D minor 7. Now for this one we're going to play 4 strings, and if you want to flatten that finger you can. We're then bringing this 3rd finger over, and we're sitting that down here, and again that's the 4th string now, 3rd fret, so we've got the 3 kind of in a line across. 4 strings again. And then just this 3rd finger, we physically drop that down, so we move up in terms of pitch. We're down onto this 1st string, and we're 3rd fret, and that gives us that G chord there. So A minor, D minor 7, F, and G. Now, if you happen to catch the A string and all those chords, don't worry too much. Again, it kind of works. So if you end up with moving on to the rhythm, so that's with my right hand here, we're going to have a look at this. So basically for these chords, you can go for a strumming pattern to start with, and then we'll look at a more intricate picking pattern. So what we've got is A minor, and we're going to strum that with a bit of a bizarre rhythm, so I'm going to count you through this a bit of a different way. So we're going to divide the beats even smaller than we normally would, because he plays on a half beat on one of the parts. So to get this, we're going to count to 8 rather than 4. You may see some videos where everything's split to 4s. We're going to go 8s. So what we're going to do, we're going to strum this first part, and then that's going to be a chunk of 3. So we get 1, 2, 3. We then play again with another chunk of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then just on the end, we get a little part of 2. 1, 2. And that brings us up to 8. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now in that last little bit of the 1, 2 section, that's usually where you're going to be thinking about moving your fingers on your left hand to get to that next chord. And you can actually kind of see Ed Sheeran do it on some of his live videos, because unfortunately it's impossible to get your hand across to a chord just like that. So you always need to find a little transition, and using those last 2 beats to do it is a great way you kind of cover your tracks with it. So you end up with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you can see there just my finger moving down. So I'll do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So on that last one, you might only get a little bit of the chord because you're busy moving your fingers. No one will notice. So you won't actually hear that when you're strumming it full power. You'll just hear that little move yourself, but no one else who's listening will really notice it. So putting that together with the next chord, so that's that D minor 7, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So from there, we then add that extra finger and we go to the F. So I'll go around all 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then we're over to that G chord. Again, so here we've got to abandon all of that and move over here. So those last 2 beats, we're going to use those to change to the G. So we get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And there on the G, you can see I'm leaping off as soon as I've strummed it. 1, 2, 1, 2. So that I'm moving back over to the A minor. There's a lot of fingers to get back in place there. So you can use as much of that as you need to. So you can even literally strum the open strings on that last strum. So when you get round to that G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you can see there, just lifting that off on those last 2 strums. This of course is a little bit faster, so I'm going to speed that up so you can really hear how it sounds. So you get So that's our rhythm there. Now, as you listen to the song, you'll notice it starts with that little keyboard part. So I'm going to give you this little keyboard part as well. And then for those of you who feel up to it, you can play the little keyboard part into this chord part for the verse, and then back into the keyboard part. And then I'll show you a final version where we're going to blend all of it together so that you basically get a master version, kind of what it sounded like on the Grammys version he did, except without the keyboard, because we're going to put that on the guitar as well at the same time. So as I say, a little bit full on, but for those of you who want to give it a try, it does sound really good. So I'll move on to that in a minute. So doing just the keyboard part, that's going to be down here, and we're going to use our chords to do it. So we're already holding all the notes we need to get most of that melody. So we're back on our A minor, and our picking hand here is going to be picking, first of all, the 3rd string, and this is played staccato, which means we play the note really short and sharp, so we just pluck it and stop it straight away. And we can do that by putting our thumb back on the string. So I'm going to use my thumb for this 3rd string, and then I'm going to use my 1st finger to pluck the 2nd string, and then back onto my 3rd finger, back onto my thumb there, sorry. So we've got thumb, finger, thumb. And that's the same rhythm, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And it's thumb, 1st finger on that 2nd string, back to the thumb on the 3rd string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's our little rhythm there. Now, when it changes to the D minor 7 chord, it's actually the same 2 notes. So even though that 1st finger moves down, you'll find you've still got the same 2 notes, and that's what we're looking for. When it moves to the F chord, again, we've still got these same 2 notes. So truth be told, if you're just playing the keyboard part, for those 3 chords, you can literally just have those 2 notes on. So really easy there. And then finally, onto this last little part. When we move to the G, we're going to be playing the 2nd string up, that's the B string. This hasn't got any fingers on. To be honest, if you're playing the keyboard part again, you don't even necessarily need this 3rd finger on that note. So we're going to play that one open. We're then going to move onto the 3rd string. Now we do have to press a note down here that we don't normally have. So this is going to be that 2nd fret, 3rd string, that's the G string, so 3rd string up. And we're going to pluck that with our thumb. And then we're going to take that finger away and pluck that 3rd string again. So just that bit again. Open 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then finally open G string. So when we put all that together, and that's the keyboard part that loops throughout the entire song. So if you've got yourself a looper pedal, if not, again, check out Absolute Music. I'm sure they've got a few on there. You can have a little look at looping that, and then you can play the chords over the back of it, just like Ed Sheeran does. So you've got that. If you want to add it together with the chords, you've got slightly more of a job to do, because you're going to need to get the chord sound and then that melody as well. So this is probably something you'll look to do in the choruses. So you'll get the strum of the chord, then the 2nd string, then onto the 3rd string. So you get the chord sound and then the 2 notes remaining. And then we'd move over to our D minor 7, over to the F, and then on the G, that finger down there. So you can leave the chord ringing if you want. And that gives you that little pattern as well. As I say, you can then step it up for the choruses, so you can have these 3 parts if you fancy putting all 3 together, so you can start your song. So that was Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Don't forget, grab the link, you can get the chord chart from there. There's a load of other cool stuff on the website as well, so have a little peruse, a little browse, see what you can find. My wish list is massive, so I'm sure you'll find some things you want to get. Always get a few people ask. I've been using a Faith guitar today. Absolutely floored me, these things are amazing. We were going to grab Ed Sheeran's kind of signature little travel guitar, but we sort of found that it didn't quite pick up as well as we wanted, so we grabbed one of these. Faith, absolutely gorgeous, can't recommend them enough. From there, we also have range of capos and stuff as well, so you can look at those if you wanted to play this one, as I say, like he does up here. And I think that kind of about covers it, so it's been great. Cheers for watching. And I've been David, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.